Hi, my name is Eric Costa, engineer here at Leonard Valve Company, and I'm here to teach you how to connect to the BMS and Wi-Fi with our new Proton control box. First, obviously, you're going to have your valve itself. In this case, you have a PNV 125LF. You want to make sure it's correctly piped. You have your hot and cold to the correct sides. But really, you want to make sure also that this RTD fitting on the outlet here, on the back side, is nice and tight. Only needs to be finger tight with a quarter turn on the wrench. After that, if you follow both these wires from the motor and the RTD, you're going to have this bundle here. And that bundle is going to contain the other ends of those two components. On the controller itself, you're going to have a few different sets of inlet connectors. From left to right, first is going to be your micro USB port, and that's going to be very important for this video. That's what you're going to use to connect your controller and set it up to connect to either your BMS or Wi-Fi. Next up would be your 3-pin connector. That's going to be used for your RTD temperature sensor. You always want to have that connected. Next after that is going to be your 10-pin connector, and that's going to be used for relay contacts for 5 different alarm conditions. After that is going to be your 12-pin connector for your BMS connection, either BACnet or Modbus. Next to that is going to be your 4-pin connector. That's going to be powering your motor. So you always want that to be plugged in as well. And finally is your barrel connector here on the very right, and that powers the control box itself. I'm going to go into the process of both how to set up your Proton 2.5 to BACnet or Modbus, or your Proton 3.0 to Wi-Fi. First, we'll start with the 2.5. So you want to make sure you have that 12-pin connector plugged in. And on the correct terminals, 1, 2, and 3, you also want those already wired to your BMS system. Plug in a micro USB to the left side of this controller. And on the other end, you want to plug it into your laptop. At this point, you want to go to leonardvalve.com, download the Leonard NPU zip file found on the Digital Solutions page. From there, download that zip file, unzip it, and you're going to want to run the program called Leonard NPU. And when you run Leonard NPU, you'll come up with this screen that will show you all of the BACnet settings that are currently on the card. At this point, you can also change it from BACnet to Modbus. This tool allows you to change all the necessary settings for both protocols so that you can integrate it with your BMS. Once all the parameters are set, then you want to go ahead and click the Submit button. This will lock in all the values that you've just entered. And no matter power loss or power failure to the device, these settings will always remain programmed on there. If you have a Wi-Fi setup, you're going to want to have the Proton 3.0 box. This box is capable of BACnet and Modbus just like the 2.5, but with the added capability of Wi-Fi connection. First, you want to activate the Wi-Fi signal from inside of the Proton 3.0 box. To do this, you need to get into the calibration mode. Press the up and down arrows simultaneously and let go. Once you're in the calibration mode, use the up or down arrows to scroll to the Wi-Fi screen. Press Enter to change the value from N to Y. Press Enter again to lock in the Y value, and then press the up and down arrows again simultaneously to go back to your home screen. Finally, do a power cycle on your controller. Once the power is back on, Wi-Fi signal should now be activated. To get into the Wi-Fi settings, first, just like we did for the BACnet and Modbus, you want to plug in this controller to a micro USB and connect it to a laptop. From there, you're going to want to go to leonardvalve.com, download the Proton 3 tool v19. That'll be a zip file. Unzip the file and run the Proton 3 v19 tool file. At this point, you'll be able to enter all the settings to connect to your Wi-Fi network. Things like the SSID, the port number, as well as any certificates that might be uploaded should be worked out prior to this installation. What you first want to do is in the bottom left-hand corner, using that pull-down menu, select the correct port that you're connected to via the micro USB cable. Once the correct port is selected, press the query button. If there's any data already entered onto the Wi-Fi card, it'll show up in all the necessary fields. If this is a new install, you'll need IT personnel to enter all the necessary info so that you can easily connect to the Wi-Fi network. You may find that a network certificate is required for full capabilities and connectivity. Once you're satisfied with the settings that you've entered, go ahead and press the Update button. Once updated, you want to go ahead and do a quick power cycle on your controller. Once it's powered back up, those new settings will be locked into your Wi-Fi card. And you should be able to read off of your controller. And to make sure, you can actually pull up the web page on an internet browser. Start with http:// the device ID that you assigned it /dashboard. At this point, you should see a page similar to the one shown in this video. It'll show you live readings of your outlet temperature, your inlet hot, cold, and return temperatures, if you have it, as well as any alarms that may be present at that current time. At this point, you should be fully integrated and have the full capabilities from either your Proton 2.5 or your Proton 3.0 control boxes. So for any help or troubleshooting, you can visit leonardvalve.com or call us toll-free 800-222-1208. Take care.